Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, as you all know, been in my live streams, I've been talking about hunting season coming up this weekend, so I thought I'd make a little video on what I bring. There's a couple of people that seem interested in me doing that, so here I go. Well, first of all, the rifle. This is a Remington 243. I've already cleaned the bore. I didn't want to bore anybody with that, so I let that go already. But what I use is this Freebait Break Free CLP cleaning lubricant. It works really well. And I also have my man's Tupperware, my Plano ammo case, but it's not only for ammo. It has a bunch of compartments. What I like to use to clean out, now I have another one that's the rod that you stick through with the tissue at the end. I'm not really a fan of that. I like the snake bores. For me, they work well. You don't have to risk scratching the inside of your rifle. This does well. I spray some of the lubricant all over the inside and I pull it through. Works wonders. So if you guys are interested in something like that, you should go look for it in your local hunting store, sporting store. I also have one that I use for my 12 gauges. So, but basically what you do, don't treat a gun, you have children in the house or anybody, it is a weapon. Will it hurt you without a human behind it? Absolutely not. But what I do is I always leave the action open. And right now what I did was I took out the bolt because I was cleaning it. I made this nice and oily and it's very easy to slide it back in. And there you go. But you leave the action open. I leave it open so everybody always knows that there's not a loaded round in there. Now, I always check anyway. If I show somebody the gun, I'm always checking. So this is my weapon of choice. I also have 12 gauge shotguns that I use, mostly for, put this over here so it don't fall, mostly for turkey hunting. But that's what I bring as far as hunting gear. Got my 243 ammo that I bring with me. Gotta have it. Always have. The magazine is filled, which it holds 5, and I always have 3 more, just in case I need it. Never know. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. What else do I bring? I like to have hand warmers. It gets cold out there, and lately last couple of years I've been hunting without a blind because I hunt on public land and I don't want to leave it out there and I don't want to pack it back and forth. I get a deer, I got enough work to do. So hand warmers, these are rated for 10 hours. I've never been out there that long. The most I've been out there is like 5 hours, and they stayed very warm. It worked out very well. So I always make sure I have hand warmers in my pack. This here is a deer drag. For after you get your deer, you can wrap this around the antlers, and it's an extension of your arm, so it's easy to pull instead of just grabbing onto the antlers. This moves around more, unlike when you're holding the antlers and pulling them out. So, and if you get a doe, you can wrap this around the ears and put the front paws through the ears, and this will work wonders. I also have, I don't like to scope anything really. I did a couple of times, but I've learned not to. I don't like to scope through the gun because God forbid somebody thinks it's the wrong thing. So this is my day and light Bushelli. It's not a name brand, it's a monocular, but it works well. I like to have this with me just in case one's a little bit too far. I want to make sure I know what I'm shooting at. Number 1 rule, make sure you know what you're shooting at. Don't break the law. Because after you pull that trigger and that bullet flies, you're responsible. It's all about gun safety. I also like to make sure I have a pen and some tie wraps. You need to tag your whatever you're hunting. You need to tag it. So you use the tie wraps, which I find to be very easy in the pen. You know, you got to fill out the tag and everything. I love to have these kind of gloves. It's dual purpose. It's when I'm ready to shoot, and if it gets too cold, I pull the mitten over. This is nothing new, but there might be some people out there that may not know and want to see what I use. So I love using these gloves, and they're very warm. Huntworth. Headgear. Now I didn't use this one yet. I just got it this year, but it's fleece, so it's going to be warm, and you can pull the face thing down to let your mouth out open. When you get cold, pull it up. It goes right over your nose. It doesn't distract you where your view is or anything. So that's a good piece. I can't wait to get using this year because all of a sudden now the Arctic blast is coming in our area. I also, now that I'm sitting outside, I do like the heated seats. A lot of people don't believe in these. Listen, you're not going to get boiling with these, but it's a hell of a lot better than sitting on the cold ground. Or even if you're in a tree stand, this works well. It does get warm. It keeps you nice and warm. It doesn't get boiling hot. It's not going to make the snow around you melt. But for what it is, they work. So don't let nobody tell you they don't. I'm telling you they do. I also have my vest, and I got a couple of calls in here. I'll go about those after. Because in New York you have to put your tags on your back. I don't really agree with that. I think it should, as long as you have it on you, that should be good enough. But dress in layers. I wear a lot of layers. Sweatshirt. Now depending upon how cold or what the weather condition is, because these bibs I usually use for turkey hunting, but they're waterproof and they are warm. They are very warm. So if it's just a regular day out in middle of November that's not snowing or anything, I will use these. 100% keeps you warm. I use them all turkey season too, and turkey season in May can be unpredictable. Another sweatshirt, I do a bunch of layers. That's a sweatshirt I use. Gotta have orange all the time. Don't want to have a mistake coming your way. And yet another layer. Now this has a camel shirt inside and a thermal shirt. So I stay pretty much warm. Now, that's just for the top one. If it really gets cold, these are the bibs I use. Carhartt. Well, these are Big Smith, actually. These are exceptionally warm. You can actually sit on the ground with these and not get cold. But I like to sit on that pillow too because it just helps even more. So you got to make sure you're in layers. Most important thing, you're going to be out there for a while. You don't want to be shaking. You're going to shake enough with the buck fever. That's real. Calls. I have 3 different kinds of calls that I use. This is the Brawler. It sends a different sound and you can adjust it. I like the sound of it. It sounds pretty authentic. I do have this one. This is a Primo. Now this one you can use different types. It has a whole different bunch of settings inside, where you can set it to a doe if you want, a young buck, a mature buck. I usually leave it in between like with this one. This is going to be my mature buck. This will be my younger buck. They all sound pretty much almost the same, but and it has when a doe comes in or something and it hops, it blows. So that's just something else that I bring. And now I can do it with my mouth, but I prefer to use this doe bleat call. You hold it, there's a hole on top, you put your finger over it. And if it's rut season, that will bring the bucks in big time. They love that sound. The way I do it with my mouth, it doesn't sound exactly like that. I'm not even going to get into that. That sounds 100% better. But that's more stuff that I bring with me. Next is headgear. Gotta have headgear to go walking around because you gotta get in the woods before the sun comes up so you're settled in and you don't spook any of the deer when they're about to move. I usually have two on me just in case one breaks, I lose one. And this one does come in low, high, and then it has a red. This one actually works better. Yeah, see this one. I gotta get new batteries for this one. Alright, so there's low, there's high, there's red steady, and then you got blinking red. I like to use the red when I'm going in the woods because the theory is that deer can't see color like that. So then they won't see me walking around, and it's enough light for me to see where I'm going. Next is a good set of knives. You got to be able to gut. Now, just by the color of it, I'm sure most of you can figure out what brand this is. Not sponsored by them. I just use what I like and what works. It's Outdoor Edge, very popular company. Let me tell you something. I used these last year, and it cut up the deer without a problem, and stayed sharp. I've sharpened it since just because, but I was hitting bone in there, and you know, if it's a cheap knife, it will go dull right away. Well, I didn't think it was going to be as sharp as it was. When I cleaned it, I slipped my finger. I know, only me. But these are a great brand. Outdoor Edge, if you can get your hands on them, you won't be sorry. And it comes in a nice case to carry on your belt too. I keep it in my bag because I don't want more things hanging off me where it possibly can make some kind of noise against a tree or something. Okay, this one might be a little disturbing to some, but can you imagine what this is? This is after you get your deer. You have to get the rectum out. You have to. You don't want none of that contaminating the meat, so this is what I use. You stick it up there, twist it, and pull it out. I won't get into that anymore. But that's a must. I didn't think it would be when I first started hunting, but it is. Come on, get up. Get up. And I used to have a bigger bag, a big digital camo army bag. It was from the Marines. But I tend to carry too much stuff then, and it was just lagging me down, and it was too many things. I didn't need it all. So I use this Cabela, and it's orange. Has enough room for everything. Perfect size. This is what I bring now. I limited myself to this. You can't overthink it, which I know I was doing. You hear my birds? I was definitely overthinking it too much and had way too many things, and I know I said I'd rather have it and needed to have it, not have it, but it was just too much. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you dress in layers, keep yourself warm out there, stay safe, wear your orange, make sure you have the proper tags that you need for your state. Go over your gun, make sure it's clean. Actually, if you want to save money, this is what I used to, it's fun to sight your guns in and shoot. I understand that 100%, but it can be costly. So now what I use is this, it's a laser bullet. You just load it in like you put in a cartridge in, and you turn the back and it turns on. I need batteries, so these won't turn on now. And you look at, and it comes right out the barrel. And you can sight your scope in. It's a great way to do it. This was like $40. But one-time shot, it's worth it. I also have one for my 12 gauge. You just load it up, turn the back on, and the beam comes out the barrel. It's an easier way, and you can sight your gun in anywhere than doing it that way. You know, I live in the village, so I can't just go out my back door and start shooting. So it's a great way to sight your guns in, and it'll cost $40 at first, but in the long run of saving ammo, it'll be worth it. So that's it pretty much, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hunting and Stuff with J&J. I put it everywhere. Kind of funny though, right? But yeah, check it out. Maybe you'll like my content. I go live every day in the morning for coffee chat. Come by, say hello. Thanks, guys. Bye.